According to reports, these are Ten Hag's rules for the players. They'll be dropped if they're late for training. They're not allowed to drink alcohol on game weeks. Players will eat what is prepared by the club. Personal chefs are banned. BMI will be checked monthly, and players will share complaints with Ten Hag instead of their agents. Craig and Frank still with us. Craig, how would you feel if you're a United player given those rules?
I'm a bit confused. What's the personal chef bit? Am I missing something?
Well, basically, the club want you eating their diet, their food, not somebody else who's preparing it for you. Very important.
Are they doing packed lunches?
Yes, packed lunches.
So what? I get some lovely little cheese triangles, and they go on a nice sandwich, you know. Ziploc bags, you know, and you make little. What? I mean, you got to go home, haven't you? And I mean, 95% of the time, you're probably eating at home, you know. It's like, so.
Yeah.
Are you going home with food? And then as the rest of the family got to? I don't quite understand that. I get all the BMI, body mass index, and all that, just checking players. That's fine. Like every manager comes in and tries to lay the laws, and the players go away and giggle and laugh behind the scenes and talk amongst each other. But yeah, I think sometimes you try and enforce too many things. And I get all the dietary stuff, but when players go home, you know, like normal individuals, they'll do what they're going to do in their own houses.
These things don't work. They just don't work.
So why do them in the first place?
Well, exactly. You're at, like, look at this. If you're late, you're dropped.
Right.
What are you going to do if there's 5 of them sharing a car? What are you going to do? Are they all dropped?
What are they all?
Have you got to decide? Have you got? Well, that's what I'm saying.
What are they doing? Saving money. You're saving gas money.
You're giving yourself problems for no apparent reason. You know what I mean? It's just. I mean, what's
on the way to training?
No. Well, the Liverpool boys used to do it. There was 2 and 3 of them in the car.
Five of them.
Okay,
5 of them in the car.
Anyway, you get the point.
Right.
You can't drink on game week.
Right.
So basically, you can't drink at all unless the season's over.
Right.
Because you're playing every 7 days at the very worst.
Yeah.
So you can't drink.
Right.
Again, asking for trouble. You're setting yourself up for disaster. Club food only. I mean, it's just stupid.
This is the kind of thing that players with dressing rooms with a bit of devilment, Stevie, should we say, would be like, right, we'll get the 5 top players and we'll all come in the car and be a minute late for training, and we'll see if he drops us.
Let's see what he does,
let's see what he does, though, because you know, I get it. You have a framework and stuff, but and listen, there are clearly some characters at this club that do need a gigantic kick up the backside. Let's be honest about it. But you got to be a little careful in how you structure these. You know, if you're late, you're dropped, and that's it. No, that's not going to happen, because if he loses the first 3 or 4 games of the season and his best player in those games, whoever that may be, is late, he ain't getting dropped. So you have to be a little careful.
All of these things that we're looking at, that he's talking about, happen in a proper culture at a club. All of these things...
Naturally they happen.
Naturally they happen.
Right.
And it's done because the manager, from the get-go, the way he acts, the way he deals with things, the way he deals... Listen, somebody's going to be late.
Right.
Because it just happens. It's how the manager deals with it, and it's how the rest of the players see how he deals with it. That's how you build the respect and the whole culture. And then eventually what happens is the manager has nothing to do with it. The players take over. That's what when we talk about the dressing room, that's what the dressing room does. Right. So that if somebody comes in late, the captain or the hierarchy in the dressing room are going, right, by the way, that's your last. Don't be late again.
Self-policing.
Absolutely. So actually, the manager creates the culture through the respect that he gains from his actions, and then the dressing room takes over. And then you don't have any stupid lists getting sent around and emails and all kinds of nonsense.
Frank, what do you think?
Well, even if I'm against those kind of lists, of what you have to do because you're going to be treated as a kid, I understand what Ten Hag wants to do. He wants to recreate something with respect inside the dressing room, respect towards the others, but it's only common sense. Of course you will have to be on time at training because you have to respect the coach decision and the guy who are maybe going to be waiting for you. Of course you have to take care of your diets. Of course you shouldn't drink too much, but you cannot say anything. I remember one coach saying to me, "Oh, tonight you're going to drink after the game." I said, "Of course I'm going to drink, but I'm not lying to you." But I know the captain, who I couldn't stand, was going back to his place. I was drinking a bottle of wine or a bottle of whiskey on his own, hiding from the coach. So it doesn't make any sense in a way that of course the players are going to drink. Of course they can be late, but don't make a list. Just catch the guy, and maybe the highest guy in the hierarchy, the day is late for no reason, put him aside, and you will have respect from the others. But if you make a list, as the guy said, you're going to make people laugh in the dressing room because, and Steve was at the best example. You put the 5 top guys in the same car, they arrive late, he's not going to do anything.
Have you been in a situation where a coach has come in and given you some strange rules?
No. No.
No?
No, never. Never.
Even for Scotland?
Just reminded me.
We've worked together too long, Steve.
And this actually you probably will not believe. You will not believe this. When I was playing for Scotland, the coaching staff was Andy Roxburgh and Craig Brown.
Right.
Now, Craig played on Craig Brown.
Yep.
We were walking from Hampden Park to a pitch next to it, which was called Lesser Hampden.
Okay.
And there was a camera crew down the bottom at the gate. And as we're walking down, Craig Brown's going along, telling everybody to get their hands out of their pockets. I'm a grown man. I've got 2 kids. And you're telling me to get my hands out of my pockets. Here's another thing you used to do. When we were practicing, we went to training, either everybody had to wear shorts or long pants, or everybody, if we wore shorts, everybody had to have the socks up or down.
Oh, well,
I mean, just ridiculous nonsense. Yeah. That just all it does is annoys everybody.
Right.
And just starts the day by everybody moaning. Just stupid.
Let me reintroduce Stevie to the 2 beers on a flight back from an international game rule.
Yeah.
That was.
Hey, I actually, the first time they ever did it, I was on that flight.
Right.
Yes,
it didn't work.
No, it doesn't work. And, you've got guys with 30, 40, 50, 60 caps and beyond playing at the top level. They've just played in France or Germany or Spain or wherever it is, Croatia. They've just played a qualifier. It's been a slog. And you're just about to get on the flight and you're in the departure lounge and the manager, and this happened for many, many years, said, there is a rule on the plane on the way back and it's a maximum 2 beers and that's it. And you're like, well, that's a 3-hour flight and I've just played a game. So what the players used to do, as soon as they get on the flight, they'd get the cabin crew, bung them a little $20 or whatever it was and said, make sure I've got a constant supply as much as we want. So, yeah, we've all had these rules. And what is it they say? Rules are there to be broken.
Didn't you have vouchers at one stage as well? Someone gave you tickets for...
Oh, no, that was once with Liverpool. We were away, so they didn't want to completely ban us, right?
Right.
So we're in the mountains, the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And there was actually Roma was staying at the same hotel. And the wisdom was that everybody would get 2 vouchers. So you could have your dinner and you could have a couple of beers, then get your bed. So, of course, everybody's going around buying vouchers from everybody else. Right, do you want your vouchers? No. Give us them. No. I'll sell you them. All right, how much you want? So we're going around collecting vouchers. So by the end of the night, half of us were sloshed, the other half were in bed.
We're rich.
Yeah.
Frank?
I remember once, the coach, the same coach that he was in Strasbourg, trying to put on some rules and like training with even during the summer where it was like 100 degrees, putting the tracksuit, the bottom and the top, and zip on the top, to make sure you sweat a lot, because he was saying that it would be easier on Saturday night to play in a game. So because we were so hot, we were breaking zips on purpose to make sure we could breathe a little bit, and it was getting crazy. He said, again, another zip broken. How can you break another zip? I said, I don't know. I get tense, But that's stupid, because you always try. As Craig said, we'll have to break the rule, because it doesn't make any sense. Because we don't work for the army. We work for a club, and we are grown-ups. I had kids very early. I don't want to be treated as a kid. I wanted to be treated as a grown-up.
Craig, is it the sparkling water story? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah, no, that was it. Yeah,
That's brilliant.
I suppose, look, at the end of the day, if you treat people like kids, you're going to get a reaction, I suppose. But there has to be, I go back to early in this segment, which seems an eternity ago, that there has to be some framework. There has to be something. But yeah, we were on pre-season down on the South Coast, and the dietitian at the time at Chelsea had informed Glenn Hoddle that sparkling water was bad for the players. So after a few days of, there was a list of stuff, no salt, no this, the food was terribly bland, it was just nothing. And then after about 4 or 5 days of not getting anything, Erling Jonsson, the gigantic Norwegian, asked the waitress for sparkling water, and she said, God bless her, I'm sorry, sir, you're not allowed sparkling water. At which point, he battered the table, and the freaking cutlery all come up, and he went, just get it! And Glenn Hoddle was sat in the next table, and he was like that. Okay, lads, you can have sparkling water.
I had one of the Americans. The American, not that long ago, by the way, the American team were away, and they all went. Supposedly they were supposed to go to the bed,
right?
And they were putting sellotape over the side of the door and onto the door.
Yeah.
And then somebody later on at night would go and check, and if any of the things had broken, to see if they'd been out of the room.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's ridiculous. Some of the things that coaches come up with is just ridiculous and completely stupid.
Listen, this is we should just do another hour of this. So,
I know, this is brilliant. I can listen to this.
It's not coming back. You keep reminding us.
I've no idea what's in your sheet there, but just throw it out the window. Listen, we used to stay at the Marine Highland in Troon, near the golf course for international games, and there was so many times. One night I opened my room door, and Craig Brown and Alec Miller, Craig Brown being the manager and Alec Miller being the assistant coach, I opened the door because I heard a little rustle outside, and as I opened it, the two of them almost fell in the door. They were at the door like this, right? And they were paranoid because they thought there was 6 or 7 lads in my room. Right. And you know what? There was, but they were behind the curtains.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.